you're interested in learning about tips that I feel help me be more successful in pharmacy school and could also help you, stay tuned.
Get your life, plan it out. You can go as far as you can dream. Edges laid, curls popping. She's a doctor of pharmacy.
My name is Bianca, also known as Dr. My Curls, and if you are brand new to the channel, welcome. Thank you so much for clicking on my face. We love that. If you are just starting pharmacy school, congratulations. I know you're excited, you're anxious, you have a lot of questions and concerns and what ifs, but I'm here to kind of ease your mind. You're gonna do great. The biggest piece of advice overall is to be proactive. And you'll hear me say that a lot throughout this video. And say you're already in pharmacy school and you're like, look, I need some tips because things are a little rocky. That's okay, sis or bro. I'm here to kind of guide you through that. So stay tuned through the end of this video. Also check in with me in the comments. Let me know where you are in your journey. If you already are a pharmacy school student, if you're thinking about starting pharmacy school, if you're almost done, if you're already a pharmacist, like where are you at in your journey? I would love to know and get to know you a little bit more. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into the tips. The very first tip I would say is to really understand your learning style. So the top 3 learning styles that come to mind for me is auditory learner, visual learner, and kinesthetic learner. So what are those and what do they mean? I'm so glad you asked. I'm gonna give you the short answer for those. So audio learner is just as it sounds. You prefer to listen. So you can listen to a lecture, you don't really have to write down any notes. Whereas a visual learner, you learn best by diagrams, pictures, graphs, notes, that type of a learner. So you do more of the writing and not so much of you can just sit and listen. And then kinesthetic learners actually learn by movement. So a lot of times you'll see, maybe you guys are learning CPR. So you might not understand it as they speak, whatever the information is. You also may not understand it writing it down, but once you're able to demonstrate on a mannequin or another classmate, you've done that through movement and now you're able to learn. So I say that it's important to understand your learning style for multiple reasons, but in short, that's gonna help set you up for success throughout pharmacy school. So if you do not know your learning style, think back through your undergraduate education, your high school education. What are some common themes? For me, I'm definitely a visual learner, and so I was able to pick that up because I love to write diagrams. I love to rewrite my notes. I'm very color coded, and when I take my exams, I can literally see the structure like up here as I'm taking my exam, and I'll remember, okay, I circled this in red, so that had to be a structure, you know, and I'm able to pull that information as I'm testing. So I'm definitely a visual learner. I will say it might be different. So coming from undergraduate into pharmacy school, I did have to shift a few things related to my learning style, because once the information comes, it's coming at you quick and it's a lot of information to take in. So you want to be the most effective that you can possibly be, and that's definitely going to be helpful for you to understand your learning style. The next tip that I want to share is time management. Y'all, I know you've heard this word a lot, and procrastination is the first thing that comes to mind when I hear the word time management. But in pharmacy school, this is a different type of caliber, okay? What I mean by that is there are a lot of assignments, a lot of different courses. It can be very easy to miss out on time and realize, oh my gosh, I have 2 tests this week, I haven't started studying. So in order to stay on top of your assignments, definitely focus on your time management. Now, for me, what that looked like was at the beginning of the semester, once you get your syllabi for all of your courses, go ahead and write out in your planner, whether that's electronic or paper, all of your exam dates, all of your reports, all of your group assignments, quizzes, homework, anything that's outlined in your syllabi, jot that down. I don't care if it is August and the assignment is not due until December. Write it down in August. That way you are alert and aware of all of the assignments that are coming your way. Also, what I like to do is, or recommend, is to go ahead and jot those down in your electronic calendar that comes to your phone and give yourself a soft deadline. So I like to set a reminder for 2 weeks out. So that 2-week mark, you can always check in and say, okay, I have a test coming up in 2 weeks. Have I already started studying, or do I already have a plan on how I want to break up the material? I know, it sounds cliche, but trust me when I say on day 1, this is what you need to do. You'll have downtime that first week. You're getting adjusted to your classes, your schedule. You're not really getting a lot of assignments, but you are getting the material. So as soon as you get your syllabi, go ahead and do that. Now, in addition to setting up yourself for success at the beginning of the semester, also want to touch on time management as it relates to studying for your classes. If there are 7 lectures on an exam, this is just an example, but if you have 7 lectures, so 7 hours of material that you have on your exam, and your exam is, say, in a week, how are you going to break up that material when you study? So I always recommend to be specific in your studying plan. So what that means is, instead of being broad and just saying that you're going to study communications on Monday after you get home from school, be more specific and put the professor's name and what lecture specifically are you going to be studying. So say it is a lecture on cultural competency in your communication course, and it's taught by Dr. Jones. So you would put study Dr. Jones cultural competency lecture, and that's it, versus just saying I'm going to study communications. If you just keep it broad, when you go to study, you might lose time trying to figure out what in the communications course are you going to focus on for the day. So I know for me personally, I saved a lot of time being more specific, and it also helps if you are a checklist type of person, because once you finish that 1 hour of material, you can check it off versus having all of these to-dos and not really being able to check it off. Because if your to-do list item is study communications and you only study 1 lecture, can you really check that off? Probably not, right? So making sure that you are very specific will help ease your workload, but also help you be more efficient in your studying time. The next tip that I want to share actually ties along with time management, and that's just being comfortable saying no. Being comfortable missing events, whether that's with family, whether that's with friends. That was a tough one for me. I'm very, very family oriented, and I actually went to school not too far away from family, almost like 15 minutes away from family. So there were events that I had to miss out on. There were weddings, graduations, baby showers, trips that I just couldn't fit into my schedule. And that's okay. My motto is always to sacrifice now so you can do what? Play later. Yes, if you are not new here, you've heard that before, but it's so true. Like, if you spend your 4 years and sacrifice hard, do what you need to do to get the grades that you need to get and be the pharmacist that you want to be. Once you finish, like right now, I'm taking trips, I'm going to all the events, and that's because I sacrificed during pharmacy school. I had to say no a lot. And it's uncomfortable at first, right? Especially if you are a go-getter, like you're so used to getting up and going 24/7 and being there for everyone. People will just have to understand. So definitely be comfortable saying no, and that will free up some more of your time to be more effective with your studying, with your prep, with resting, your self-care, and all of the things that you need to be successful in pharmacy school. The next tip that I want to touch on is to ask for help. Ask for help. Don't be afraid to lean on your professors, your course coordinators, your classmates, family, whoever you might need in whichever given moment. Ask for help. It's okay. It is okay to ask for help. So don't feel like you're in this alone. I always stress to students to make sure that you have a network. Find students that you can study with. Even if you are the student that likes to study alone, have your alone time, but also regroup. Come back together with classmates once you've learned the material on your own. Any and everyone can play a role in making sure that you are successful in your programs. And then last but definitely not least, I know it sounds cliche, but hear me out. Remember that even if you perform poorly on an exam or not at your standard, just keep in mind it's not the end of the world. It is not the end of the world. You can still do this. Hang in there. I always say, don't let the defeat or the feeling of defeat push you away from your end goals, okay? You're gonna be successful. You're gonna get through this. It might be tough. You might have gotten through your previous years with no issues, no struggles, no C's, no B's, and now you get to pharmacy school student, you fail your first exam. It happens. It definitely happens, but keep your head up. Remember to be proactive. So making sure that you always go back and review your assignments. Definitely utilize your professors, your advisors, your classmates, a tutor, what have you, to really help you succeed. It's okay, you're not alone. I promise you are not alone. Pharmacy school is a different caliber. I've said that many times in this video, and it really is. Don't sit in your, what's the saying? Y'all know what I'm talking about. Don't bask in the defeats. Don't bask in the discouragement, but be encouraged. I could really go on and on about that, but all in all, you're here for a reason. So remember that you're here for a reason and you can perform well. Otherwise, they would not have accepted you into the program. So once you cut out those distractions, you hone in on your time management, and you also remember that it's not the end of the world if you do fall short, and you just figure out a way to come out stronger on the next test, the next assignment, the next quiz. You'll be fine. Overall, that's it for this video. I hope you all learned something and were able to take away some tips. Comment below and check back in with me and let me know if you enjoyed this video. Also, make sure that you give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget to click that notification bell so you don't miss any of my other videos. Thank you guys so much for watching as always, and I will see you on my next one. Bye.